Hey guys, thanks for tuning into another video. This is going to be the second video on my channel, and I'm trying to switch things around so that I can upload on this channel every other day, and then on my main channel I'm going to be uploading twice a week. I've actually been able to switch my schedule around so that I have more time to film and put out content, and I'm super excited because I get to do something that I love more often, and I'm just glad that I had the time for it. I am taking 18 credits this semester at college, so it is kind of crazy. And I just feel a lot more accomplished when I get to film and put out content for everyone. And yeah, I'm really excited to be uploading more regularly. At least let's hope that I'm uploading more regularly. So if you aren't subscribed already to my main channel, check it out. It's going to be linked at the end of this video, and there I cover more serious mystery / crime stuff, and it's a lot of fun, but it's a little more serious than these videos, and it takes a lot longer for me to edit them and research them, so that's why I'm doing more uploads on this channel than that channel, but I will be consistently uploading. So as I said, I am currently in college, and I am actually an environmental studies major, which makes it kind of depressing because all you hear about is how humans are destroying our earth and nothing's gonna be the same. Our children are gonna grow up without knowing what tigers, and you know, sometimes you find out things that you just really wish you didn't know about our earth. Anyway, my studies have basically just taught me everything to know about climate change, and if you don't believe in climate change, just don't watch these videos because I just don't have the energy to argue, because you know, I don't care if you don't believe in it because it's happening, and yeah. But that's a whole other video, and I don't want to get into how everything's gonna just be awful. So let's just get into the video talking about a topic that I recently learned about that I think is kind of unsettling. So we all know that humans have the ability to change our earth and completely destroy everything, but there's actually things in the earth itself that have the potential for ending everything that we know. Today I'm going to be talking about just how dangerous our world already is, just how connected every system in the environment is that we just don't realize until it's too late. Today's video is how Iceland can destroy the world. Yay, let's get into it. Now when you picture Iceland, you probably think of mountainous areas. It's pretty cold there. There's a lot of ice, a lot of volcanic rock formations, and it's just really sparse there vegetation-wise. The country itself only has about 362,820 people, give or take a few, the last time I checked it, but anyway, it's a very seldom talked about place. I mean, my state has more people here than in Iceland, and yeah, it's just, you know, it's a beautiful place. I'll put some pictures up here and here and here. Now, to understand how this little country can have such a big impact on the rest of the world, we're gonna have to talk about how Iceland itself was created. I'm just gonna give a brief version. If you are a scientist watching this or studying science, you know, I'm not gonna go into heavy detail because that's really boring and you don't need to know about that. We're gonna get into it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is look back. I mean, way back. Like, millions of years ago. So the estimate is that Iceland was created anywhere from 16 to 18 million years ago. Back then, the northern hemisphere was covered with glaciers, and that will come to be important to talk about later. Now, there's this thing in the middle of the ocean called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Now, it's basically where two of the huge tectonic plates are being pulled apart, and magma is able to sometimes get up there. You know, there's a lot of volcanoes and volcanic activity, and so magma that once it reaches the surface is called lava. So there is a difference between magma and lava, and they're not actually interchangeable words. So once this magma is able to reach up into the surface, it is lava. Yeah, I bet you totally were curious about that, weren't you? I'm so great at parties. So Iceland's creation actually started with this ridge and magma shooting up, and as it reached the surface, it became lava. It started building up on top of itself. You know, this volcano just started forming up and hardened into an island. Now, you would probably think that it would look somewhat like Hawaii, because fun fact, Hawaii is actually a volcanic island. If you didn't know that already, which you should if you did school. I mean, public schools aren't that great, but still. So you would probably expect it to look like Hawaii, you know, like cone shape, you know, sloping, gentle, but no. Iceland is crappy, it's sharp, It's uneven back the glaciers. Now the glaciers in the northern hemisphere actually cut up Iceland and shaped it into the way that it looks now. And it has this unique shape because of how the glaciers moved across the surface of the earth and deposited some sediment here and some sediment there and really cut it up to look like an uneven, not your typical volcanic island. Now what's terrifying is that Iceland is actually directly on top of the mid-Atlantic ridge. So Iceland is actually separated, because remember that ridge is formed from two separating plates. So every year, Iceland's actually getting bigger. So as I said before, Iceland is covered with, well, ice. You know that lava and ice don't mix very well. Most of the magma that's being spewed up underneath Iceland is kind of trapped for a long time. But sometimes it gets through, and it can have disastrous consequences when it comes out of those volcanoes. And you know, since climate change is happening, we're losing all the ice in the world, and we can expect less interaction between the ice and the lava, and we can expect more spewing. Now, a very frightening example of a horrible effect that Iceland's volcanic activity can have, the 1783 volcanic eruption. Oh yeah, you don't remember that? I mean, come on. In Laki, Iceland in 1783, there was a volcanic eruption that lasted for 8 whole months. Now, I can't even process that. Yeah, it was really devastating, it was really bad. Just on the island itself, everyone in Iceland was affected. It destroyed up to 20 villages, like hundreds of people died. You might be thinking, well, how is that really detrimental to the entire Earth? So when the volcano actually erupted in Iceland, it began spewing out sulfur dioxide. If you don't know, sulfur dioxide is a very poisonous gas, and it was being brought up from the earth in huge amounts and spewed all up into the atmosphere. And it was actually estimated that 120 million tons of sulfur dioxide were put into the air. The toxic poison spread across the earth, and people like thousands of miles away had reported that they saw an orangish haze in the sky. So much of this gas was actually released that it began to change Earth's climate. And if you have been following climate change, changing Earth's climate and the atmosphere is really, really bad. Like, the smallest change can just put so many things snowballing into effect. Earth's climate was changed for 3 whole years after this eruption happened. Global temperatures dropped drastically, causing some crops to fail in some countries, droughts in other countries, and just a whole lot of famine and death. It's estimated that 23,000 British died during this incident. The entire chemistry and makeup of the world was changed from this one eruption, and people had no idea. Like, it was back in 1783, like, they're like, why did this happen? And we were able to look back in the future and be like, hey, yeah, that was from the Angry Earth Hole. Angry Earth Hole. That would be the name of my band. Now, these eruptions in Iceland are still happening. Of course, it's not as bad as the 1783 eruption, but there have been some disastrous volcanic eruptions in Iceland recently. In fact, there's a whole new island that was just created near Iceland, and yeah, that's a thing that happened and no one's talking about it. And they are able to now predict when things are going to happen. However, it's not going to do us much good if you can get away from the volcanic eruption's epicenter, but then go out and then you're still affected by the entire eruption itself. So basically, Iceland is a ticking time bomb. Now, I know in our society they love to say that, you know, technology is going to save us all, but that's just not true. First of all, technology has not saved us from anything yet. Horrible things still happen every single day. Mother Nature still has so much hold over us, and we barely even understand all the systems in the atmosphere and the environment as is. There are things that are happening right now that we didn't even predict would happen because of global warming. Permafrost is melting, and no one thought, like, hey, when that melts, methane's gonna be released into the air and it's gonna make everything worse. Again, that's another video, but I digress. If this were to happen, it's horrible to say this, and people who are poor or in poverty aren't going to benefit from technology of first worlds. We're already seeing that. People in places like Africa and India and other underdeveloped countries are dying because of our climate is being changed by us, let alone if something happened out of the blue like a volcanic eruption and we had no time to prepare for it. We're watching our Earth die every single day, and we are still not doing anything about it. So the idea that we can just say, hey, science is gonna save us just isn't true. And it's very unfortunate because I feel like it's a lot of a cop-out that people use because they are afraid or they're just tired and they don't want to try to take things into their own hands, which I understand because it's really hard. It's really hard to think that one person can make a difference, but I'm telling you, you can. You know, if Iceland erupts, we're screwed. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I got kind of preachy at the end, but I just thought it was really important to say. I am majoring in that, so I'm being preached to all the time, and I agree wholeheartedly that we should be doing more to save us from the horrible effects of climate change. And I'm gonna probably do a little bit more videos like this, but not like drown you guys, because I know not everyone wants to be reminded every single day how we're all doomed. Yeah, so I just wanted to make this video, and I had a lot of fun because I think that geology is so interesting. Am I the only one? Probably. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys like and subscribe if you like it, and I will make another video, and it'll be out in the day after tomorrow.